I always repeat over and over and over again is do not be afraid to jump in water over your head. That's how you're going to learn. And I was fortunate to be able to experience that here at Purdue at the Sigma Chi House, and for it to be safe. And I think of some of those things. I'll never forget. You know, of course, first day of engineering class, we don't allow this anymore, but you know, you'd be there. Professor Barron, he would say, you know, 500 freshman engineers, look to your left and look to your right. I'm thinking, well, introduce yourselves. He goes, one of you will not be here next year. I'm like, oh, well, that's not safe, all right. And so I was terrified. So my first semester, man, I just studied as much as I could. I didn't want to be one of those guys. And I remember Gary Tho, one of my pledge brothers, who were going through pledgeship. And I was just lay low, stealth man. He just put me up against the wall one afternoon, and he said, Krach, you got to start giving this pledge class. He goes, you're just focused on your books. And that was a seminal moment in my life. And I remember another one, and Tony Hawkins and Steve Miner here. When I was one of the co-chairmen of Old Masters Committee, it was like the first kind of public speech I gave. And we had about 500 people in an auditorium. And I froze. Total stage fright. Don't let that happen to you, Clark. I just froze. And nothing was coming out of my mouth. And all of a sudden, Diana Wellen, my co-chairwoman, she comes up and says, we would keep the same. And she just took right over from me. That was a great lesson in leadership, what she did to me. I remember, you know, through Purdue, I was able to get a GM internship and scholarship. So at 19, I was a foreman on third shift production line in Detroit making Cadillacs. And the two biggest issues I had to deal with were drugs and prostitution. Now, I was thinking, they didn't teach that in freshman engineering. Maybe that's a higher level class. But I learned the leadership lesson is make a friend with the biggest, strongest dude on your team. I made it through. Or I'll never forget being the council, the president, you know, my senior year. We used to have a little fun. And Roscoe back here, he rolled a tire down a hill, see? And it actually hit a car. That was not good, okay? That's Roscoe, we've learned that. We don't do that again. It never happened again. Then all of a sudden, the police came walking in on the balcony. And to this day, I have nightmares about this. And Roscoe's standing over there. All the guys are like, you there? He goes, who did this? Policeman said, can't lie. It was the Betas. If the Fijis were closer, I'd have said the Fijis. But anyway, okay, I don't know. But what I learned is, and this is what Mama Krach always said, she'd go, the most important things in life are not written in a book. So my dream is that students are inspired to live that, not just talk about it. Okay, dream number 2. And that is to collaborate and learn in this team environment. I mean, leaders. With in common, good old-fashioned Midwestern values like courage, integrity, high ambition, respect, work ethic, Sigma Chi values, Fiji values, good old-fashioned work ethic, but also with diversity of everything. Diversity of thought, different temperaments, talents, and convictions. That is key. And if I look at the opportunities I've had being a CEO, CEO has one job and one job only, and that is to build a high-performance team. There's 3 factors that go into it. It's the people side of the equation. Company with the best people wins. Number 2, get them working together as the team. That's the multiplier. That's the 1 + 1 = 10. And 3, set a crystal clear direction. And you get a playbook, vision, mission, values, team rules, long-term goal strategy, all boiled down to execution. And I learned that here. Vision is always to build a great, sustaining company or institution or legacy. The mission is always to be that leader. And those core values stay forever. Now, the only thing that changed in the 7 companies that I had a chance to is just technology, markets, and the people. But some people have been there forever. Like Mark Carlson's been part of every one of those companies we've built. And I want everybody to have that chance, to have that experience, that do that. And my favorite proverb is 27. Just as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That's what I want going on there. That for these great students walking through there, they learn the true definition of leadership. And understand, you don't have to be a CEO, you don't have to be a chairman, you don't have to be a grand counsel. Being a leader is making a difference. Big one, little one, but most important, a meaningful one. And it's leadership in its purest form. Hector taught me is living your values every day. And the simplest definition is just character and action. That's what leadership is. That's my third grade. So people will learn that, understand it, take it with them forever. All right, and then I just have one more thing. I got these great leadership experiences at Purdue. So Scott Sperling, good Sid Mackay guy, in my class, who was president of student body. We both go straight away to Harvard Business School. I want to tell you a little story about that. He was my roommate. And I'll never forget that first day. And we're in our dorm room, and we have the Sid Mackay magazine sitting like right on my desk. I'm on the cover because I got some awards, some Balfour Award thing. And in walks this guy, Joe Fuller, who also went straight away from college. And back then, only maybe about 5% did. He happened to go to Harvard undergrad. So he looks at this Sid Mackay magazine and opens it up. And it lists all of these accomplishments I've done at Purdue. And at that point in my life, he looks at it and he goes, "What were you, also captain of the safety patrol?" Just throws it down. I'm going, okay, man, I'm on my own now, starting again. It was a pretty amazing experience. And then the first day of class, go around the room, introduce yourself. I mean, here's what happened. Lady sitting next to me, "Hello, my name's Mary Carney. I'm a vice president of Chase Manhattan Bank." The guy to my left goes, "Hello, my name's Shel Sanders. I'm 42 years old. I'm retired from the Navy. I was the commander of a nuclear submarine." And I said, "Hey, my name's Keith Krach. I was president of my fraternity." Okay, so I'm enthralled with this leadership thing. And there was a professor, I can't remember his name back then, but he was the expert on leadership at Harvard, world renowned. And so I wanted to meet with him and talk to him. And so it took me like 4 months to get a meeting with this guy. Finally, come in his office. He's terrifying, man. He goes, "How can I help you?" I go, "I just have one question." He goes, "What's that?" I go, "What makes a great leader?" He goes, "Close your eyes." Close my eyes. He goes, "Now, think of a person you follow anywhere, the greatest leader you've met. Think of that. You got it in your eye? Yeah. Okay, got it. Don't open your mouth. I ask the second question. All right, think why. Think why. You love to follow him. What makes him a great leader? You got it. Got it. Open your eye. All right." He goes, "Can't tell you the answer to number one, but I can tell you the answer to number two." Because the answer number two is this leader you had in your mind is fun to be around. It's fun. He goes, "Who was number one? Or who was the leader thing?" I go, "My father. It's the funniest guy I know. I mean, he He would say, Keith, if you're in a tough situation, as an old boxer in the army, if you're up against the ring, and you don't think there's a way out, there is. It's humor. It's mocking yourself out. You know, like self-deprecating. I was like, mock yourself out. And he taught me that gift. So actually my fourth wish is that this great leadership center is fun. And to that, I dedicate this leadership center to my father. Hail Purdue!